Sir, three parts. I don't know about another two. I only remember of ownership. Another two I forgot.
You forgot the other two. Okay.
Hello.
I-
Hello.
I'm asking. I'm asking that you forgot the other two.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me point out, when we are talking about industries, industries are referred to the secondary activities, and secondary activities are those activities that change raw materials into products of more value of people, right? So we know that there are sectors like primary sectors, then after secondary, then after tertiary, right? So when we are talking about industries that come under secondary activities, and these activities are those activities which change raw materials into products. Let's say that if you talk about flour, right? So uh, it comes out with the raw materials that can be called as a into products that called as a means biscuits, right? Or called as a bread, or means you talk about other products which are nothing but a valued for the people or of people. That is the first thing. Second thing is called as a industry, refers to an economic activity, right? So that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Now you can get that people get the employee. That's called as a means one of the service area. Second is called as whatever the materials that may be called as minerals that we extract through the industry, right? And other products also means which are nothing but raw materials that converted into the production of goods which are beneficial for the people. Now, 2 points I pointed here. One is called as a secondary industries are secondary activities, and those activities that change raw materials into products of more valued of people. Second point I pointed, that's called as a industry, refers to an economic activity, means it is giving a strength to the country, right? So that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Second point. Now, third is called as when we are talking about industries, right? Under this, or you can say agro-based, mineral-based, marine-based, and also forest-based. Raw materials are coming, right? So if you talk about raw materials, it means we are referring to the industries, means where you talk about agro based, you talk about mineral based, and you talk about mineral marine based, and also forest based. Four of the things that come under the industries, and they all are nothing but raw materials, right? Now, beside raw material, you also find out the size of industries. So can anybody tell me that what is the size of industries?
A cottage industry, small. Sir,
See, when we talk about size of industries, please do understand.
small scale industry.
Yes, small scale industry and large scale industries, they are coming under size of industries. Even size of industries refers to the what amount of money that you invested. Like if I invest 1 crore, then I do have a kind of a small scale industry. But if I invest 100 crores, that will be called as a large scale industries, right? And the number of people I employed, right? Let's say that if you talk about number of people employed in a ABC technology, is called as a 5 to 10 people or 10 to 50 people, which is nothing but a small company, right? Or small industry. But whereas if you talk about technology industry like Infosys, Tata, so where the employees are called as a 2,000, 5,000, 50,000, 60,000, 75,000. So this is something called as a large scale industries, right? So why? Now, because if you invest, three things are needed. One is called as a money, capital that you invested first. Second is called as on the basis of the capital that you invested, you employ number of people. Third is called as the volume of production. So your volume of production based on number of people employed and the capital that you invested. Right? If I invest 1 crore and if I have the employee of 5, then the volume of production will be less, right? Or you can talk about few. But whereas if I invest 1,000 crore and my employee number of the people employed is somehow called as 100, the volume of production will be more than what we expected in 5 to 6 employees, right? So therefore, size of industries depend upon capital, number of employees. Third is called as a means volume of production. Three of the things, and fourth is called as a means a small scale industry and large scale industries. So that comes under size of industries. So please do understand the points which have been pointed in industries. So what do we talk about industries? We talk about industries are economic activity that concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, and provision of services. It also it also presents the activities that change raw material into products of more value of people, right? These are the two introductory idea about industries. The second is called as a raw material. We talk about means agro based, mineral based, marine based, forest based, and size of the industries. We talk about small scale industry, large scale industries, and we talk about when we talk about small scale and large scale, we refer to the means capital invested, then after people are employed, and third is called as a volume of production that refers to the size of industry. Third is called as a small scale industry. Now we go to the subpoints that called as a small scale industry. To what to call as the small scale industries? Generally, if you say small scale industries manufacture products, right, by hand, right, like you can say stitching or weaving, right, and include cottage and household industry. So cottage and household industries can be called as a small scale industries, and these industries use lesser amount of capital as well as the technology. So therefore they are known as a small scale industries, which I told you that small scale industries means what? Now referring to the number of employees, amount that you are investing. The third is called as a means it may be at your home or it may be at a cottage or it may be means referring to a small place, right? And the kind of a capital and the technology that you use into it. So that's called as a small scale industries. Then like you can talk about some examples of a small scale industry called as a people go for the basket weaving, right? So basket जो बुनते हैं, pottery, so जो लोग मीन्स छोटे छोटे फार्म करते हैं, pottery, and also other handicraft industry. So हाथ से बना हुआ जो चीज होता है, सो वो सारे लोग जो एक छोटा सा इंडस्ट्री करके जो है जहाँ पे काम करते हैं, उसको स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज कहा जाता है. देन what is large scale industries? Large scale industries produce large volumes of products, right? The investment of capital is higher and technology is superior, right? Therefore it is known as a large scale industries. The first one is called as investment. So what do you invest? You invest the capital, which is nothing but higher than you expected investment occur in a small scale industries. So then the second one is called as the technology that they use, which is nothing but a powerful and superior, right? You can talk about means for example called as a production of automobile and heavy machinery, right? That are the examples of large scale industries, right? Now, so we understood raw material, we understood about means the size of industries, we understood about the small scale and large scale industries. Now we go for the next one, that's called as a ownership, right? On the basis of ownership, industries can be classified into the means different sectors. Like you can talk about private sectors, you can talk about public sector or government owned, state government owned, right? Third is called as a joint sector, like public and private both means joined together, and they work together on that part. Then the fourth one is called as a cooperative sector. So private, public, joint, cooperative. Four sectors are there, right? Which are known as the ownership, right, of the industries, right? Let's go to the first one, that's called as a private sector industries. Now, what is that private sector industries? Now, private sector industries are owned and operated by individual person or a group of individuals. For example, if you talk about BHEL, right? BHEL, that's called as a Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, right? Or you talk about IOL, Indian Oil Corporation, IOC, sorry, IOC. So BHEL and IOC are the examples of private sectors, right? Private sector industries. So which are owned by individual or called as a group of individuals. Then the second one is called as a public sector. So private sector and public sector. So if you say public sector industries are owned and also operated by the government, right? That may be called as a state government, right? For example, you can talk about Hindustan Aeronautic Limited and SEL, Steel Authority of India Limited. So SEL and HAL, HAL, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited, are known as a public sector industries, right, which are owned by the government. So private sector and public sector industries. Now, if you look into the next one, that called as a joint sector industries. Now, what is joint sector industries? Now, joint sector industries are actually owned and operated by the two, right? Who are they? One is called as a public sector, state government, and the second one is called as an individual or group of individuals. So both are owned that sector, and that's why it is known as a means joint sector industries. For example, you talk about means in your book Maruti Udyog Limited, so which are owned by two private sector and public sector, state owned as well as means group of individuals, right? That is known as a joint sector industries. Then we have a fourth one, which is called as a cooperative sector industries. So these industries are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers. So producers or suppliers means those who produces, those who produce, actually you can say agricultural product, or called as a means raw materials, right? They may be producers or they may be called as a suppliers, those who supply the product also. So in that case, you can talk about cooperative sector industries where workers are both, right? You can talk about producers, suppliers, or workers. So or both, right? They owned the industries. For example, you talk about Amul, right? So the Milk of India, Anand Milk Union Limited, and Sudha Dairy, so another one. So these two can be called as a cooperative sector industries, right? So beside this, private sector industries, public sector industries, joint sector industries, cooperative sector industries, we have also another one that's called as a sorry, these are the four sector industries which are functioning in the country, or means in a different means countries of the globe, right, or the earth. So next one is called as a factors. So problems or means uh, matters that affecting location of industries, which is nothing but called as another point. So matters affecting location of industries. So when you talk about location of industries, means what are the factors that actually affecting to the location of industries? Now generally availability of raw material, land, water, labor, power, capital, transport, and also market. These are the things are actually highly necessary once you are opening a small scale industry or called as a large scale industry, right? So what are they? Now that are called as a first thing is called as a raw material, availability of raw material. Second is called as a you have a big land or not. Third is called as a water availability to that particular land. Labor, labor availability is there or not. Labor means people who are going to work. Power supply is feasible or not, or possible or not. Capital, you if you have a means a huge capital to invest or money to invest, then also means land, water, labor, power. So these are the things are necessary. So if you have money but you cannot find out the appropriate land, right, or you don't find out the raw material, water, labor, power, transport, and also market. So these are creating nothing but the factors, and the market are the factor affecting the locating location of industries. So if you talk about that clearly, so factors referring to the what, these are the common things which are necessary for location of industries. Another thing is called as industrialization leads to development and growth of town and cities. Now, if industries are presented in a particular place, then definitely that particular part as well as the surrounding of that location will be grown gradually, right, into towns and cities, because people start living there, and schools, colleges, as well as markets are opened to that particular towns and cities, right? And gradually it turns to towns and cities, right? So that's why means factors referring to nothing but these are the things which are really necessary: raw material, land, water, labor, power, capital, transport, and market. These are the factors, right? Now the next one is called as a industrial system. When we talk about industrial system, what do we find out? An industrial system consists of inputs, process, and outputs. Three of the things that happen in an industrial system. So what are they? That is called as a first, you get the raw material and you put it. Then after it takes a time, process it, and finally you come up with the means outputs. Take the example, you are means you are producing wheat, right, but you do not eat wheat uh, by producing in the cultivated land, and you do not take it. So uh, you go to the industry, and there it process, and then after it comes out with the flour, right? Similar to that, when you put the flour, you come out with the biscuits. So raw materials are going through the particular input, process, and outputs, right? Second one is called as that is what nothing but the industrial system. Second point is called as a raw materials, labor, and you can say that cost of lands, right? Raw material, labor, and cost of land, transport, power, and other infrastructure, they all are the inputs actually, right? So raw materials are there, so, and labor, they are working. Cost of land, so whether it's a valued or not. Transport facility is provided or not. Power is 24 into 7 or not. So, and other infrastructure which are nothing but the inputs of the industrial system, right? Third is called as the process. So you talk about in inputs. Next is called as a process. The process include a wide range of activities that convert the raw materials into finished products. So the way industries have been created or made, right, where you simply go with the nothing but the finished product when you come out, uh, uh, when you put the raw material and it takes the process. Then the next one is called as the results is nothing but the output at the end of the product, and which means we earn from it, right? So are called as a process of earning money. So these are the things that you find out in a industry, right? So the next idea which I would like to tell, which is nothing but called as industrial regions. Industrial regions means industrial areas, right? So industrial areas emerge or called as a gradually grow when a number of industries locate to each other, right? You find out the industry which is nothing but called as a food industries, agro business, like I pointed, right? What are the things coming under means uh, uh, industries? One is called as agro based industries, mineral based industries, marine based industries, and also forest based. So when we are talking about means industries locate in a one particular place, so gradually it increases uh, to present with a number of more industries around it, right? So locating close to each other and also share the benefits of their closeness, right? So obviously think of it means we live here, and around this place in Bhubaneswar you find out many of the mm, hospitals are there, malls are there, schools are education sector or institutions are there. So why? Because of the industries present in the city, right, or town, and for which what happened, gradually it connects to the other industries which are also means begin because of the means because of the one of the industry present there, or called as a couple of more industries are present. So that is why industrial regions emerge when a number of industries locate close to each other. So people people start living around it, and means they make the place popular and also grown. The second point is called as a major industrial regions cost to be located in the temperate area, right, near seaports and especially near coal fields, right? Industrial regions tend to be located in the where not temperate areas, right, near seaports and especially near coal fields. Like we have also seen the kind of a map, right, where we found out that how industries locate near the means temperate areas or sea areas or coal areas helpful for the industries to means export the product, right, and also import the product, right? So major industrial regions of the world. So who are the major industrial regions in the world? So they are called as Eastern North America, Western and Central Europe, Eastern, Western, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, and also Eastern Asia, right? North America, Eastern, Western, and you can say that
Sir, no southern.
sorry,
Sir, no southern.
no. Is it given that in your book the southern is also there?
Sir, for that only I am asking. Sir, no south place is not
No, no
means
south place
no
are given.
south is there.
Yeah. So because we are talking about major industries, south should be there, but the thing is
Acha.
that they are not been referred as a major industrial regions,
Okay, sir.
right? We are talking about major industrial regions of the world, means which are presented in our Eastern North America first. Second is called as Western, Central, and Eastern Europe, right, and Eastern Asia. So in that case, you talk about means uh, what we are talking about major industrial. regions. Next is called as in India. The industrial regions are where now in India, the industrial regions you will find out Mumbai, Mumbai, Mumbai Pune cluster, Mumbai Pune cluster, Bangalore Tamil, Nadu regions, Hooghly region, Ahmedabad, Baroda region. So these are the places are known as a means industrial regions in India, right? So similar to that distribution of what? Now distribution of major industries. So how the major industries are distributed? Now iron and steel industry, textile industry, and the IT industry. So these are called as the world's major industries, right? Iron, steel, textile, and IT industries are called as the world's major industries. So if you talk about iron and steel industries, so they are located in Germany, US, China, Japan, and Russia, right? So how it is distributed into the different countries. Textile industries, you can talk about India, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan, right? So if you talk about means, Silicon Valley of Central California and Bangalore regions of India, when you talk about IT, right? They are the major hubs of what? Information technology industry. So that's what is called as the distribution of major industries, right? Iron and steel located in Germany, USA, China, Japan, and Russia. So textile industries, India, South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. And if you talk about IT, so obviously Silicon Valley of Central California and IT industry in Bangalore in India, right? So which are known as the hubs of information technology. Then, if I go deeper part into it, we can point out iron and steel industry. So, iron and steel industry comprises variety of inputs, process and outputs, and it is a mineral-based industry. Which one? Iron and steel industries are known as a mineral-based industry. Inputs in the industry, raw materials such as iron ore, core, limestone, labor, capital, so investment is also needed and other infrastructure. In processing, iron ore is converted into steel by undergoing different stages like smelting.
Sir, can I go?
Yeah.
My mom is calling for dinner
Okay.
from very long time. Okay,
You may leave. No issue. So that is what I'm just telling about what like how mineral based industry they are known for, right? Output results obtained is the steel, right? So after iron and means limestone, iron core and limestone means when iron ore is converted into means into the process of steel, right? Next, steel is called the backbone of modern industry, right? As almost everything is made of iron and steel.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yeah.
So, what is the difference between stainless steel and steel?
Stainless
I
steel.
mean, steel. No rust. Only no rust, or other things are also there.
Now, what means? What do you find out the difference in stainless and stainless steel and
Stainless steel, it I think it's waterproof and means it doesn't get rusted or oxidized.
now? Can you say that the composition present into it?
No, sir.
So, do you know about alloy wheel?
Yes, sir.
So, why it is called as alloy wheel?
Sir, as it is a mixture of many substances,
Like
means many metals and non-metals like sir, tin, steel, iron, limestones, and more.
okay, let me point out when we are talking about stainless steel, you know there is a word called as a chromium.
Yes, sir, chromium metal.
So that steel's usually containing with a 10 to 30%. 10 to 30% chromium. So and also you will find out associating with low carbon content, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Low carbon content. So and it actually what you can say it have a means a very strong part, resistance part to corrosion, right? Do you understand? Corrosion and heat, right? So it
So that means 30% of steel is chromium,
yeah,
and the chromium is only the stainless steel.
yes, right.
Achha.
So that is what included into it. Yep.
Okay, sir.
So where we are actually still is called the backbone of
Yes, the steel
still
backbone.
a backbone of modern industry, as almost everything is made of iron and steel. In India, iron and steel industry has developed taking advantages of raw materials, cheap labor, and transport and market. So if you compare to America and India, you would find out means $1 is equivalent to 80 rupees. So in the same manner, if you find out in America, if the person is taking per day for means 10 to $15, in India it could be in a $5, right? So that's the reason you will find out the cheap and cheap labor, transport and market is also cheap. So major steel producing centers in India is nothing but VIII, you can say that Bampur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, and also Bokaro. And it's spread over the states like West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, right? So that is why it is nothing but a popular. The last one which you will find out that called as IT industry, information technology. So information technology industry deals in nothing but the storage, processing and distribution of information. Which one? Information technology, that is the job, right, of information technology industry. Storage, process, distribution of information. The main factors guiding the location of these industries are nothing but resource availability, right? Cost and infrastructure, right? So resources are there, cost and infrastructure also you will find out, right? Which are nothing but the guiding them. Then the third one is called as the major hubs of the IT industry that you find out in a Silicon Valley, like you talk about Facebook, Twitter, you talk about Google, right? So California is located there or are located there in Silicon Valley, California. And all, you find out IT industry popular in India also in Bangalore, right? So Bangalore, which is known as nothing but Silicon Plateau, right? Hub. It hubs in metropolitan centers of India are Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad, and Chennai. So these are the places are nothing but called as a metropolitan centers, right? For whom IT hubs also, right? So these are the things that you find out here in industry, right? So I just pointed those of the important information which are necessary for means for the students, right? That is the region means these points you keep in your mind because questions come from there only. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So fine. That's all for today. We'll we'll go because it's already 10:18, right? So as you left, only Srujan and because okay, okay. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Sir.